Two wheels, four wheels, we have you covered. Today we're checking out the Porsche Macan Turbo. Yes, this is the newest SUV in the Porsche line. Very slick. It's a cold New England day, so we're going to take a drive in this car, check it out, and see how it goes. So Porsche entered into the SUV market a few years ago with the Cayenne, and it really showcased something different with a sports SUV. Now, the Macan Turbo you're looking at here is the latest in line in Porsche's SUV. This is a smaller base SUV that is a four-door SUV. It's got a 400 horsepower V6 engine in there with 6,000 RPMs. Now, this car, for the regular Macan, you can get it for $42,000. The Macan Turbo is listed at $72,300 at MSRP, but this car we're looking at here is actually listed at $94,000 fully loaded. So the Macan Turbo really packs a lot of punch. It brings a lot of Porsche's style and sleekness, as well as also power and performance all together in this vehicle. You can see the trimming here. It's got a really low base, so it actually feels like you're driving a sports car rather than an SUV. So when you actually stand next to a car like someone like me, it feels nice and low, and also feels very streamlined. It's got auto stopping functionality built into this vehicle, so basically it actually aids you and assisting you in stopping. Now, the front grille looks like a Porsche, has some of that Porsche Turbo S styling in front, and also mixes some of the things you find in Cayenne and other things you find from different lines of Porsche, so giving it a more slicker, a more streamlined look to the vehicle, which is what I like altogether. As I mentioned, it's got 400 horsepower. It's got a max top speed, track speed of 164 miles per hour. Fuel consumption is 17 miles per gallon. City highways 23. So it's actually pretty decent, especially for a car that actually can do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds with the sports chrono. So basically the sports plus mode listed into it. Now, as we look at the back of the car here and open up the trunk, there's actually a lot of space in there. So you would think this thing, because it seats four, it's more of a sports car, it wouldn't have a lot of trunk space. It actually does. And if you're wondering how come the trunk is not in the front like a typical Porsche, well, it's an SUV, so there's a different space and styling. You've got a button there to actually close down your trunk. The one thing I will notice, there's really no way to activate open up the trunk at the back. There's no key, and you have to actually do that internally or from your keys themselves, which is kind of a little bummer, but it does still work. Now, if you open up the hood of the car, as in typical Porsche fashion, you shouldn't touch anything in there. The engine is well enclosed, and the only things you can access, of course, are the oil and some of the wiper cleaning fluids and things like that. But it's got a nice clean engine look, giving you should give you some really solid performance as we take this car out. You can see how Porsche has made it very clear that this is something that you should not touch by yourself. You should bring it back to your Porsche dealership in case you have any issues, want to do an oil change, or even just want to change fluids in the vehicle, which is just pretty much standard for what Porsche does with their vehicles altogether. Moving to the interior of the vehicle, you can see the plush leather that wraps around from the door panel all the way in. So you've got a couple of things here. Of course, you do have your door buttons and lock features all together. The key is actually, you can see the key right there. It's styled like a Porsche vehicle. Moving into the vehicle here, looking at the steering wheel, I love the leather finish on this car. It really is nice. It's something a lot of people would like in terms of just a plush and simple finish. You've got scroll wheels right there. One is for your volume and to mute track, as that's on the right, and on the left, that was actually to answer phone calls with the Bluetooth functionality in there. This also has paddle shifters. This is a 7-speed vehicle, so you can actually go ahead and paddle shift in there, and you can see the dashboard that gives you some really good notification. You've got 2-stage climate controls in there, as well as also a full dash there for your GPS and your backup camera. Now, looking at the gearbox area, you do have, of course, your separate temperature controls. You've also got more controls for your sports and sports mode, which you can see functionality right there, as well as some of your off-road functionality. You've got an off-road button that basically switches this to a proper off-road vehicle. You can actually drive this off-road. Trust me, you can, because it just snowed in Boston. At the very top here, you have some of your controls for your lighting, of course the trunk, and as well as open up the panoramic moonroof, which allows you to, or roof system actually, I'd say moonroof, but this is a very large, huge roof base. So basically what you have here is something that, once I actually hit that button and open it up, you have a nice viewing area, something that brings in a lot of sunlight, especially when you're driving. You just want to technically enjoy it. It's a really nice open space for that moonroof, and I think they've done a very good job with that, with the car itself. So the Porsche also has active safe system, which regulates the speeds of the vehicle in line with the speeds of the vehicle around you. So you can use that as a gauge, and it keeps you in line. There's also a nice safety procedure altogether. You've also got adaptive sports seats with comfort memory for both sides. So basically you feel like you're driving in a sports car, not necessarily in an SUV, which, you know, is something that I'm just not too keen on. In terms of audio and sound system, you can either get a Bose surround system or move higher to the Burmeister high-end surround system, and the sound quality is really, really good. It really gets a really good thump in there. And of course, if you're going to pay that kind of money for a car, you definitely want to experience as much as possible on the audio side of things. Overall, I love the finish of the vehicle. The leather is really plush, comfortable, and it really is a fun ride. But instead of me talking about it being a fun ride, let's go ahead and do a test ride on this vehicle. You also have heated seats at the back too, just to note. So the seats are heated. All 5 seats are heated. 4 seats, sorry, are heated in this vehicle. So let's go ahead and we'll jump in and we'll do our test drive of the Porsche Macan Turbo.
All right, guys, let's begin our test drive of the Porsche Macan Turbo. You can hear that engine rev, can't you, huh? All right, good. All right, guys, we are driving the Macan Turbo here, and this car's got some really nice pickup. I have 2 cameras set up. I have my HTC read, and I have my liquid image camera over here, which at least I can tilt and show you, like, you know, the dashboard and some of that stuff, but it's really mainly for just seeing what I'm doing as I drive the car. So as with all Porsches, you do have the option for with the turbo and the Turbo Plus, so you can kick it into gear, really move fast, and, you know, drive as hard as you can. Now this thing has 400 horsepower, and it is a beast. It's very smooth, especially for an SUV that basically has, you know, the Porsche engine and drivetrain in it. You get a very smooth ride. What's really cool is that this is actually a 7-speed vehicle. So with automatic, it will switch gears, you know, up to the 7th gear. You can drive it Tektronix, and if I actually tilt this down, you can see there I've got the paddle shifters, or you can actually shift and change down on your gearbox over here. So that's something you guys can definitely see. Now I would show you me revving and speeding around, but it's like there's a little traffic going on, and, like, you know, people are driving a little slow here on this public holiday, which I'm wondering why. But in terms of the drive and feel, it's really nice. The interior of this car is very plush. It's just, you know, it's what you expect from a Porsche. You know, you've got very nice soft leather, you know, with nice detailing. You can see the stitching all around, and you've also got that centralized clock. I don't know if you guys can see that thing. You probably can. Which is, it's a nice ode to just some of the mechanical features of this car. So even though you have a lot of electronics on the dashboard, the navigation system, and even just all the controls here by the gear shifter, it's still just a nice little different touch to say, hey, look, you know what? Not everything is digital in this car. And then the other thing to note is that, you know, it also comes with a Burmeister sound system, so you're getting some really solid sound around the car, with the audio here. But enough of me talking. I'm going to do some driving so you guys can just get a feel of the Macan Turbo. I really like this SUV. It's smaller. It's smaller than the Cayenne. I said enough talking, so I'm going to keep talking anyway. But you do get a really smooth drive with this, and you've got some really nice pickup altogether. So it's something where even if I hit sports, I mean, you can hear the engine just rev up, and you can see there's so much traffic in front of me, but you can really pick it up with this, and then, you know, move this car in ways most people can't actually drive, which is nice. So you get a lot of performance with this car at 400 horsepower. And I'm just going to cut off the guy behind me just for the heck of it, and you know, cut through. Now, if I would love to show you guys some Sports Plus. If I get some more you know, driving room, I'll do that. But again, this is a really smooth ride for an SUV. Got great performance. The steering control is very, I wouldn't say delicate, but it's got soft touches to it, so you don't have to actually, you know, cut too much or steer left and right. You get a nice feel with the steering wheel. You know, you can cut through traffic with ease altogether, which is pretty cool. That's Sports Plus, people. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Pick up RPMs. I just did 75 miles per hour in, I don't know, a short period of time. I wouldn't say it's 3 seconds, but you can calculate that on camera. But yeah, this car does pretty good pickup. Drives very well. This is not a Turbo S, you know, 911, but you can still enjoy the power of a Porsche with this vehicle in so many respects. So I'm going to turn off Turbo Sports Plus now, just because I can't use it with this guy in front of me. But you do get the idea. This is a nice car, really smooth. But anyway, let's head back, round up this video, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the Macan Turbo. So we finished our test drive with the Macan Turbo, and I can tell you I really love this SUV. Now, if you really want to enjoy it, I suggest you get the Turbo, which of course this is $94,000 fully loaded, but it's an awesome car, a smooth ride, great interior. It's got the Turbo Plus, so you can really push it. And really, I love the sleek design and look of the car overall. So the Porsche Macan Turbo, great, solid drive. I can't complain about it. If you guys have any questions or any comments about this car, let us know. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video so we make more videos for you. It's cold. It really is cold. Enjoy your entertainment.